मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना।
जैसे कि शो कर रहे हैं स्टेज पे
सर वो कनेक्शन की जारी करना। मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना। इनका सर नाम कैसा भूल गया, डीएस करके सर वो नाम निकलने की जारी करना। यहाँ से देखना पड़ेगा नाम किसी ने नाम डॉक्टर सतीश कुमार ना, सतीश कुमार। मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना। इनका सर नाम कैसा भूल गया, डीएस करके सर वो नाम निकलने की जारी करना। यहाँ से देखना पड़ेगा नाम किसी ने डॉक्टर सतीश कुमार ना, सतीश कुमार।
व्हाट्सएप ज्वाइन करो है ना, जितने भी मेल हो रहे ना
मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना। चल मेरे से कैमरा नहीं चल रहा। इनका सर नाम कैसा भूल गया, डीएस करके सर वो नाम निकलने की जारी करना। यहाँ से देखना पड़ेगा नाम किसी ने डॉक्टर सतीश कुमार ना, सतीश कुमार।
व्हाट्सएप ज्वाइन करो है ना, जितने भी मेल हो रहे ना
मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना। चल मेरे से कैमरा नहीं चल रहा। इनका सर नाम कैसा भूल गया, डीएस करके सर वो नाम निकलने की जारी करना। यहाँ से देखना पड़ेगा नाम किसी ने डॉक्टर सतीश कुमार ना, सतीश कुमार।
व्हाट्सएप ज्वाइन करो है ना, जितने भी मेल हो रहे ना
मीट का लिंक मैं अभी व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ। एसओपीएस से पा देना पा देना। चल मेरे से कैमरा नहीं चल रहा।
So good morning, Dr. Kumar.
Very good morning, sir. How are you?
Dr. Satheesh Kumar.
So, Dr. Kumar, today is the live session. You can see this side also. So, in our seminar hall, we have organized your lecture. So, I request to the organizing committee members, please start, so that our media team can click your photographs.
Okay, sure. In fact, I'm in India now. I came for an MOU signing.
Yeah. So, good morning, Dr. Kumar.
Very good morning, sir. How are you?
Satheesh.
So,
Good morning to everyone.
Today is the live session. You can see.
So my name is
this
Dr.
side
Dilpreet
also.
Singh.
So in
I
our
welcome you, sir, on the
seminar
behalf
hall,
of City
we have
University
organized your
Global
lecture.
Dialogues in Pharmaceutical
So,
Sciences, a key
I request to
initiative
the
created by the City
organizing
University
committee
for spreading knowledge
so
toward the
that
global domain.
our
So
media
in our
team can
present
click your
webinars,
photographs.
our speaker is
In fact,
Dr.
I'm in
Satheesh
India
Kumar,
now.
sir.
I came for an
Sir, I
MLO
welcome
side.
you for this session. I hope that the session will be fruitful and outcoming. Sir,
So good morning, Dr.
before
Kumar.
starting the presentation, I welcome all the delegates
Good morning,
and
sir.
our
How are
worthy
you?
head of the school, Dr. V. Vikram. So I am requested our head
Good
of
morning
the
to
school
everyone. Today is the live
to
session. You can
present our
see.
department.
So
My name is
this
Dr.
side
Dilpreet
also.
Singh.
So
So
in
I
our
welcome you, sir, on the
seminar
behalf
hall,
of
we
City
have
University
organized your
Global
lecture.
Dialogues in Pharmaceuticals in the
So
department. A key
I request to
initiative
the
is created by the
organizing
City
committee
University give the overview of our
so
department
that
of pharmaceutical sciences. So
media
in our
team can
present
click your
webinars,
photographs. Thank you, Dr. Singh.
speaker is
In fact, I'm in India.
Please share the
Dr.
presentation, Kumar.
Starting the presentation, I welcome all the delegates
Good morning,
and
sir.
our
How are
worthy
you?
head of the school, Dr. V. Vikram. So I am requested our head
Good
of
morning
the
to
school
everyone. Today is the live
to
session. You can
present our
see.
department. So my name is
this
Dr.
side
Dilpreet
also.
Singh.
So in
I
our
welcome you, sir, on the
seminar
behalf
hall,
of
we
City
have
University
organized your
Global
lecture.
Dialogues in Pharmaceuticals in the department. A key
I request to
initiative
the
is created by the
organizing
City
committee
University give the overview of our
so
department
that
of pharmaceutical sciences. So
media
in our
team can
present
click your
webinars,
photographs. Thank you, Dr. Singh.
speaker is
In fact, I'm in India.
So very good morning to our esteemed today speaker and all the participants from the not only India, even abroad also. And in India, sir, the different universities participants are there today.
head of the school, Dr. V. Vikram. So I am
So,
requested our head
good
of
morning
the
to
school
everyone. Today is the live
to
session. So you can
present our
see.
department. So
If
my
I
name is Dr. Dilpreet Singh. So
discuss
I am
about my
welcome
university,
you,
sir,
sir,
our
universities
universities.
dialogues in pharmaceuticals in the
Basically,
department.
we
A
have
key
started the
initiative
research department in our campus, and in our campus, sir, university is not uh, just how to start. So, City University is established in 1997, and it's a 28-year-old plus university, and sir, pre-nursery to PhD program. And in our campus, sir, we have one universities, two institutions, and 17 colleges, two schools. So, if I discuss about the city group institutions, they have 17 colleges that are affiliated with Guru Nanak Dev universities and IKJ PTU, and two colleges.
आप बोलते हैं सर
Now it's audible. Yes. So, sir, city group, I have discussed about you. So, sir, under the leadership of our Chancellor, Sardar Charanjit Singh Channi, and our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Manbir Singh, and our Vice Chairpersons, that is Mr. Harpreet Singh, and under their leadership, we are doing the research. So, our Vice Chancellor is Dr. Nitin Tandon. Dr. Nitin Tandon has more than 25-year experience in a research field, And I have, sir, 25-year experience in hospital, teaching, and pharmaceutical industries, and 35 plus publication in my hand. So, sir, recently we visit the University of Tokyo, and our worthy pro chancellor with us, and we have tie up regarding research activities with the Tokyo universities. So, sir, in our school, we are doing drug discovery and development. We are working on clinical research because that is your domain also. So, in our, sir, department, we have regulatory affair and quality insurance, and we work on the natural product and herbal medicines. Sir, in our school, we work on both in vitro and in vivo. And therapeutic role of pharmacist in the research, we work on drug discovery because we work on preclinical trial because we have started, sir, zebrafish, Drosophila, as well as silkworm lab in our campus. Sir, we start the formulation and drug delivery. And one renowned company in India, that is DuPont, we work for the DuPont. They discuss with us, can you convert our injectable formulation into tablet formulation? So that challenge we accept. Moreover, sir, we have pharmacovigilance and drug safety. And sir, we want this department under your guidance. We want to do more research in this department because we have Pharma D students also. So, sir, as I discussed, because you are also pharmacologist, so sir, we start here zebrafish lab and Drosophila lab. We have approved animal house, so we have rat, mice, rabbit, guinea pig also. So, and even though, sir, we have started the anthelmatics where we work on the earthworms, and one of our students working on this project. This is approved animal house by the government. So recently we have started one workshop with alternative to animal studies with the governments, and whenever we perform this workshop, few students from the Tokyo universities, they interact. After that, they invite us, the University of Tokyo, and we deliver the lectures in Tokyo universities. Sir, this is your domain also. We work on from crude drug to research. One of our students working on the plants. After that, he collect the active constituents, and after active constituents, he work on antidepressant model and check on zebrafish model. सर, आपको पता ही है इंडिया में अगर आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हो तो आपको न्यूज़ चैनल वाले they will come and click the pics, and all the newspaper in India, they have captured our pics and published in the newspapers. So this is our Drosophila lab, sir. Because why we are working, because 60% genes are correlate with this our human body. So we work on this Drosophila lab, and within 4 days, Drosophila will be adult. So it's easy for us to do the experiment on Drosophila. Some in the leading newspaper, The Tribune, they have published a full-page newspaper news for our department. That is, Pharma School start zebrafish and fruit flies. So this is anthelmatics lab. Sir, few instruments that are available. That is, it's not good for me to introduce about the instrumentations among a professor who is just watching the PPT. UV, HPLC common. Sir, we have started the in silico drug discovery lab in our campus, and our team, Pharmaceutics team, is working on that segments. Industrial project, I have discussed with you, one company that is DuPont. They provide antibiotics for us. Can you convert into oral form? So, sir, ye aapke samne we have complete the task, and we have given these segments to the company, and now they have apply for the government authority approvals. So we are also working on some nano carrier segments, and we work on SAM-TEM model also. Sir, we are not only work in city university, we collaborate with the different universities also, and a few of our students visit to the Nipur, GND University, pharma industry, and one of our students work on the cancer cell. So in fluorescent light, we can easily watch where is the cancer cells are. In Sir cardiovascular lab, we work on Sir Lanzendorf apparatus, and you already know there is a animal ethics approval problem. So we work even the hook heart also. So until and unless our practical is going on, our students cannot leave the lab. So in our Sir one lab in silico lab, where we also work, and our students, why they work in silico lab, we already know one is reduce the experimental cost and predictions accuracy we require. Sir, one of the professor from University of Uganda is he visit our lab, and in future he is happy to collaborate with us to do the research work in our lab. And even the few students from the Australian University, they visit one day visit, and they love to work with antidepressant models in our lab. So he's the scientist who invite us, that is Tushi, and in his country, that is Japan, we visit their University of Tokyo and work on silkworm also. So that is the invitation letter from the company side. Sir, in our department, we have 200 plus publication, and 50 plus patent we have already applied, and we have collaborated with pharmaceutical industries as well as hospital also. So, sir, renowned hospital, that is DMC Hospital Ludhiana, they doctor visit because we will collaborate very soon with the DMC Hospital, and they just go through our labs also. So our team member who was working day and night with us to do the research work in the field of pharmaceutical research. So, sir, yesterday we visit the regional research station Jammu for collaborative work on silkworm, because we have learned something from the Japan, and after that coming to India, we request to the Indian government, we want to start a lab in India. So yesterday we were at Jammu, and approximately I think so 11 p.m. we reach at university, and today in front of you. So that is our program with the different universities. So this is small presentation for our university, for our department, not our university, for only our department. And I love to invite you for this today's session, and I request my colleague.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. A very warm good morning to everyone. So it is a great privilege to introduce our keynote speaker of the today's webinar, Dr. Satheesh Kumar. He's head of clinical pharmacology at Lusaka, Apex Medical University, Zambia. Dr. Kumar brings together rich international training, an MB CHB from the University of Zambia, 2023, a PhD in pharmacology in 2013 from Inamlia University, India, and a postdoctoral expertise in nanohealth from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, in 2015. So his work encompasses the discovery and the regulatory clinical trials, pioneering nanomedicine, analysis, LCMS, HPLC, and education in clinical pharmacology and digital health. So, a recognized educator and award-winning scholar, Dr. Kumar holds dual license as a medical doctor and a pharmacist across ACDC nations, and he's a recipient of GP Nair Award twice, the Rani Sithai Eki Gold Medal, the Claude Berner Award, and AICT's Career Award for the Young Teacher. So today he will share his insights from global collaborations spanning India, South Africa, and Zambia. So I request Dr. Satheesh Kumar to commence his talk. So, sir, kindly share your presentation. Shall we start?
Yes. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction about me. And I want to say a special thank to Dr. Vikram. He was narrated very excellent manner in his, especially for your department in City University. It's very excellent. I was so much of impressed because I was not in India almost for the 10 years, but I'm seeing so much progress, especially in a pharmaceutical division with a wide range of diversification, silk worms experiments, and that kind of research. It's really quite impressive. And you have a good collaboration with Tokyo University, which made me very much impressed. And first of all, I want to thank you all for inviting me for such a wonderful session. Once again, my sincere thanks to you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
So shall we start the presentation?
Sure, sir.
Oh. Is it visible, my presentation? Is it visible, my presentation? Is it visible, my presentation? Is it my voice is audible, sir?
Your voice is audible, but PPT is not showing. The voice is audible.
I have difficulties to share the presentation.
So I request to the one of our colleague, he will, Dr. Dilpreet, please help sir how to present the PPTs, because what till time until unless sir is not presenting the PPT, I request to all the participants, if you have any question, you can write in the chat box, because we will ask that questions to the sir also. Yeah.
Sir, is there any difficulty that you are facing when sharing the PPT?
Yes, sir. I'm facing the problem with the sharing my.
You firstly open the presentation, and after opening the presentation, there is one icon in the Google Meet at the end and in the center you can see in the arrow that share screen. You can click the options share screen, and then there are 3 tabs that were open: Chrome tab, window, and entire screen. You can click the window in which there is a presentation that open. You can select that presentation, and then you can share the presentation, sir. You can see in the end of the column, end of the tab, there is a label that is called share screen. So you can click on the button share screen, sir. Nearby in the webcam, in that camera, in the left there is a camera, and in the nearby of the camera there is an option called share screen. Please unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute.
So I have to be share the screen, but
Sir, have you opened the presentation first?
yes, I did.
Do not minimize the screen, sir. Make the presentation visible on the window, then click on your browser. After clicking on the browser, you can select the option share screen, and then click on the presentation that you're supposed to present.
It's not connecting, sir. It's not connecting.
So your presentation is on the PPTX mode, no?
It
Like
is
in
a
the Word file.
It's a PPT.
It's a PPT.
Yeah.
And you have at what particular browser you have used, sir? Firefox?
No.
Which browser you have used for that for the session, sir?
Safari.
Safari.
Yeah.
Safari. Sir, you can mail the PPT. I will share on your behalf.
Okay, that is great. That's great.
And we will share the presentation, and then we will start one by one.
Okay, that's great. So, would you mind? Can I get your email ID? Oh, it's okay.
From the same mail where you have received the invitation, you can share your PPT on the same mail. Yeah.
So, have you received the email? Sir, kindly check for me. I shared the email. Sir, have you received my email?
Hello.
Excellent. And my sincere apologies for this such a technical interruption. Go to first slide.
फिर उन्हें मिनिमाइज करना पड़ेगा.
So you can start now, please.
But the first, but by my sincere apologies for the technical interruptions.
Sir, you can start the presentation.
Can we go for the first slide?
Audible.
Okay, all right. So can you maximize the first slide? So can you maximize the first slide, sir, if you don't mind?
Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, is it okay? But first slide, we want to go to the first slide, sir. Yes. So can you maximize this? Maximize this.
If we maximize, it's not move now. And
Okay.
but in screen it's showing a maximize in our.
Oh, okay. So can I present now?
Yeah, you can start now, sir.
First of all, my sincere apologies for this such a technical interruptions. Because if we are in Zambia, it is a different. But right now I'm in India because I came to sign an MOU. So sorry for these such interruptions. And my sincere thank you for inviting me. Such a immense pleasure. This presentation is very pivotal for Pharm D education in India, because as an educator we are notifying a lot of up and downs with these Pharm D issues in India is going on. And one of the speculation in these recent days, the first slide clearly illustrated there is a misunderstanding between Pharm D and MBBS. So I want to be first clarify to our pharmacists, especially Pharm D candidates, we are not competitive with MBBS, and we are not equal to MBBS. Same way, MBBS also not equal to Pharm D. because each program have their unique features. So Pharm D, they are having a lot of therapeutic based education, and MBBS is basically for diagnosis oriented education, but both are having a different sector. So we never ever have a mind to compete with MBBS. So based on that speculation, so this is around in social media, everywhere is like a hot topic now. People are discussing about this over and over. And also, so please go to the next slide. Please, next slide. Is my voice is audible? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
So based on that myth, we are going to discuss about why Indian Pharm D program face challenges than USA, not only US, even in Africa. Why we are facing such a challenges? So we are going to be discussed very elaborately. So next slide. Okay. So the Pharm D failure, because it's a very simple concept. The demand is actually there is no demand, but the supply is a huge. So we have to be equal the demand to supply. So, but why supply is increased? So because numerous pharmacy colleges are raised in India, and they started this Pharm D program without making like a legislative policies in India. Because the policy makers is not a colleges, policy makers are like a regulators. Like initially pharmacy council, initially the pharmacy program under AICT, later come to pharmacy council. Even before that it was under MCA medical council. But all these councils, it is that they did their job. But where is the problem started? Before we start any program, so we have to make like a government policies. So what is their opportunities? So where they will go for their job, where they will be placed, there is no clear-cut ideas. Yes, obviously, US have a Pharm D program since 1950s. But over the period of more than 75 years, US did tremendously changes and keep on changing their policies to emphasize a Pharm D program, get better life and better job. So when come to India, we are not ready to initiate such kind of policies before we start this program. So that is why the real challenges Pharm D students are facing. So because always they're comparing with the US. No, we can't compare with the US. So US setup is different, Indian setup is different. So let's think about how we are going to be overcome these issues with the following slides. So go to the next slide. Okay, what we don't want to from Pharm D students, because look at this picture. So they started to dharna, they're protesting. No, we shouldn't do that. So we need to be change our policies. So we strongly emphasize our policy, which means we emphasize the policy makers to quickly make the policies to overcome such issues like these. To please next slide. Next slide.
Dr. Dilpreet, next slide, please.
So look at this. What we really want, we want to make like this, not like a conventional medical stores. We want to come with a community pharmacy. I have one student. Very long time back, I was taught him. He opened a community pharmacy, real community pharmacy. He was struggled in initial days. He really struggled. He was frustrated, struggled, but after the struggle, he overcome with a new concept of the community pharmacy. The way the same setup with the US and UK, he also started in a small town. Initial days, he was have a lot of up and downs, but today he developed like 3 to 4 branches. So what I am emphasizing here, instead of we are making dharnas, let's focus like this. Actually, what is a real Pharm D? It's like a developing community pharmacy. This is not like a conventional pharmacy stores. So your job to counseling. But problem is, Indian culture, they are not accept Pharm D as a, even not a pharmacist. They think as like us, like a compounders, because the way Indian government was made us, there is no recognition for us, very honestly. So there is no recognition in India. Even the pharmacist job, till now, they are recruiting only for diploma in pharmacy. So very rarely they are recruiting Bachelor of Pharmacy, Master of Pharmacy, and that's why even they don't know what is Pharm D. But instead of we are blaming others, let's start with our own. Look at this diagram. We want to come with India, so many Pharm D graduates, you can come like a team, come with a good setup of community pharmacy. Let's make awareness to the public, should also aware about what is community pharmacy. It initially people, any new inventions struggle in initial days. But over the period of time, say US not developed Pharm D program just like yesterday. It is over the period of 75 years, struggles up and down. Now they are cherishing their achievements. So like that, I want the Pharm D candidates, even the Pharm D aspirants and the Pharm D colleges, look at this model. We want to make like a real community pharmacy setup instead of making dharnas. So go to the next slide, sir, please. Okay, this is also, the picture is speculated in social media, but according to me, this is not a correct. It's not like US is going in a Mercedes-Benz, Indians are going with a bull cart. No, this is also not a real comparison, because we just started the program in like 10, 15 years back. But US, as I mentioned, 75 years back, they started this program. So I don't want to be, you can mislead such kind of, pictures in the social media. Don't mislead with this kind of pictures. But we are going to be discuss what is the real problem, and also we are bringing as a solution like an expert team to how to sort it out this in a near future. So next slides. So next slide, sir, please. Okay. So this is a comparative analysis of Pharm D program in US, Canada, and India. So let's see, first we can take it from US side. US side Pharm D program, they're supposed to be entered into the prerequisite courses, like 3 to 4 years actually. Once they have completed that, they can enter into 4 years vigorous clinical training Pharm D programs. That is the first we have to be understand. Number two, their accreditation system is very robust. There is no corruptions at all, no excuses. So they have a very serious, robust accreditation process. That's why their employment rate, it's a 90%. When compared to our Indian counterpart, they're only 10%. But I will narrate in Indian scenario later, but I want to be focused for this. And their training extensively given by physicians and clinical pharmacists. It's a team. It's not like a only pharmacist, it's not like a only doctors. It's like a team providing like a strong clinical training to US and Canada. So come to Indian counterpart. So what happened in our side, our duration of the course is a 5 years in like a theoretical part and a 1 year like an internship. And our training with the clinical sector very limited. We understand why, because we don't have a hospitals, our own hospitals, or we don't have a university teaching hospital with the pharmacy colleges. We are looking for the government hospitals or other hospital setup. And the problem started here that doctors now, they're thinking this doctor of pharmacy is their competitors. So they don't want, or they're not allowing them to learn real-time clinical experience. What is a real-time clinical experience? So when we see the patient, we have to take the case history. The case history is played a major role to learn any clinical training for any clinical students. But when you go to the hospital, the doctors not permitted Pharm D candidates to do that. What they do, they're allowing them to copy the cases. So there is no use of copying the cases. That's why I want to mention this training in India, especially clinical training with the hospital, not in the colleges. Colleges done their best, but problem for the farm, the real problem with the hospitals. So the doctors not allowing the pharmacist to learn, because according to the doctor's view, pharmacists are dispensers, not a practitioners. We can't blame them because of there is no policy so far framed. And our curriculum is mostly focused on dispensing oriented rather than clinical training. And our accreditation system, which is very poor. In fact, there is no accreditation system for Indian Pharm D programs. So go for the next slide. Yeah. See this comparison. This is actually a real comparison, because any students, they need job, salary, and a good wealth and a life, like a balanced. But look at the slide from US. The candidate's average salary, $100,000 to $180,000, because once they're done Pharm D program, they're easily clearing NAPLAX, North American Pharmacist Licensure Examination, which is very difficult for any countries except US, including UK, Australia, and Canada also, to clear NAPLAX. But it's not tough like the Indian curriculum, because Indian curriculum is purely dispensing, but as I mentioned, their curriculum is purely clinical oriented. And number two, in US side, once they're done Pharm D program, they can, that is a job assured program, because as I mentioned, 90% candidates, they can get job. The rest 10%, maybe you can have a question, why the 10%? The 10% going for higher studies, like a research or elsewhere. But there is no unemployment in pharmacy program, because pharmacy program is very successful. And the companies, like a major companies like AstraZeneca and Bristol Myers and Novartis, Pfizer, they're ready to offer job for Pharm D candidates from US, Canada, UK, Australia, and even New Zealand. But they're offering job to us also in Indian side. You can see Indian side, the average salary per annum is, the maximum is 20,000 USDs. So when we look at their job profile, they can go for a pharmacovigilance, medical coding, drug research associates, and other CROs. And apart from that, they can go to academic and other things. But look at this, the job offers in India, it's not only for Pharm D. Pharmacovigilance, anyone can come. Any life science candidates, because see the recruitment advertisement, they just be inviting for even MSc candidates. They're just inviting for Siddha, homeopathy, Ayurveda, Pharm D. So what is the problem here? What is our unique future? Who we are? That is a big question. Look at a US counterpart. They're only specifically call for Pharm D for the employment. But Indian side, we are among the others. We are not the one. We are also among the others. So that is a problem in Indian side. So next slide. Okay, the key success. How US over the period of time, they improved their Pharm D program and why they are success. First of all, they are having a very well-structured education system, because they are giving hands-on experience with the theoretical and the clinical application, which means there is no gap between theoretical and clinical. They are bringing together. So what happened? The students are getting well knowledge in theoretical as well as practical. And they have a very strong clinical training, because US, they're no compromise with their clinical training, as I mentioned, because their system is very robust. And the regulatory bodies also, especially for the accreditation councils, they're very strongly emphasizing the student must clear, and there is no mercy on students and no grace marks. No, they just be focused on very strong and emphasize for their regulatory system to bring very best Pharm D students at the end of their programs. Please, next slide, sir. Next slide. Okay. So this is a US Pharm D program, general curriculum view for the 4 years. So when the student enter into the first year, they have an intensive training in a pharmaceutical and which means like a basic science. They give the intensive training. Plus, They will be trained with immunology, especially like vaccination, and also they learn ethics, professionalism, and also they learn the patients, how to manage the patients system and everything in their US system. And the second year, when they enter into the second year, so they're learning specifically for the disease, with the infectious disease, and also certain US universities sending their students to overseas, especially like countries like us, like a sub-Saharan region. Entire the world, we are the only offering for tropical disease managements. So the students are collaborated with us. They come for us for the tropical disease, because as a Pharm D, there should be a global Pharm D, not for the specific country. So they must know for all the diseases how to manage. So the second year, they are emphasizing for infectious disease and tropical disease, and also the health policies, very important. So they are allowing them to learn health policies. The third year, when they enter, they will come for leadership, entrepreneurship, and also that's our regular scenario like a pharmacoepidemiology and therapeutics economics, because in US, pharmacoeconomics played a major role because of the, not like India, we can't be just to be used like a brands or generic, US specifically for focusing on the pharmacoeconomics. So the students must aware about what is the pharmacoeconomics. So look at their structure. All the 4 years, they have a basic science, and equally they have a clinical experience. Equally they have a entrepreneurship. Equally they have a laws and a policy making. So which means the entire curriculum is a competency-based system. So the students have a very excellent curriculum to learn with the clinical knowledge, which means the theoretical knowledge with the clinical applications together. That's why US programs are very successful when compared to our Indian system. Next slide, please. So the advancement in various universities offering Pharm D programs in US. Look at their courses. They have a Pharm D dual courses. Pharm D with MS programs, Pharm D with PhD, Pharm D with palliative care. The one palliative care, in India, one of the main factor in clinical abolished is a palliative care, because geriatric care, it's very, very important, because countries like US, UK, Australia, like top countries, they have palliative care. And they're specially appointed Pharm D graduates to look after these geriatric patients. So which means they are providing the opportunity for the Pharm D students, Pharm D graduates, and also they are providing for their growth. So that's why, see, look at these programs. It's like even for medical cannabis, I strongly emphasize these programs in India, we should also introduce in near future, because cannabis having a lot of medicinal properties. In India, we did all the research, but there is no implementation. But the implementation takes by foreigners. So that's why they are developing courses like a medical cannabis, because to regulate how we are going to be cultivate, how we are using for in a human system. So not like the way abusing, how we are using for in a clinical perspective. Like that, they are having offer these courses, and their success rate, as I mentioned, higher rate, and their main focus pharmacotherapy, entrepreneurship, and research, and geriatric and palliative care. That is their main focus. That's why their programs keep on success, and they're achieving their targets. Next slide, please. So the key roles in US for the Pharm D, the key roles they are offering: vaccine administrator and nuclear medicine. For the oncology department, they specifically appoint oncology Pharm D candidates to administer for chemotherapeutic agents, and also involving for radioactive isotopes for the cancer patients, and also very vigorously involving for therapeutic drug monitoring, and also tropical diseases management and palliative care, and also one of the very important segment, contraceptives practice, which was abolished again. This is another area abolished in India. which means we have so many opportunities, but we are not making any policy to look after this. It's called as community medicine, especially contraceptives. So abusing or misusing contraceptives. So next slide, please. So the main causes for us why we are failed. Actually, it's not, we can call it as a failure. Still, we are improving. So how we are going to be improved? First cause, the students having inadequate preparation, because the students having lack of scientific knowledge, because they are forced to obtain the subject instead of knowledge, just to be grab the subject and they're writing in the exam. This system we strongly should be opposed. Why? We shouldn't focus for mark-based system. We should be focused for a knowledge-based system. I'm not against for the marks. What are my point to emphasize here? We prepare more objective-oriented examination rather than subjective-oriented examination, especially for clinical segment, not for preclinical, not for other segment. I want to be clinical segment. Our students should be focused for OSCEs like objective structured clinical examination. Otherwise, this inadequate preparation for the student, high dropouts, because they are unable to cope up with the curriculum, and a lack of industry exposure. So the lack of industry exposure also played a major role, because the students are not ready the time they're taking up the job, because the industrial connection is not very serious when they are in as a student, and high competition. This is very embarrassing for us, because India is a mushrooming colleges. For example, I was great impressed with the presentation from Dr. Vikram sir, because City University doing a very best, including your clinical rotations. But other colleges in India, numerous, and they are also making Pharm D. For example, the standard colleges like City University also make Pharm D program, and some mushroom college also make Pharm D programs. But end of the day, the market is flooded with Pharm D candidates, but there is no demand. So that is a high competition also, one of the reason for why Indian Pharm D failed, because of this. The next slide, please, sir. Okay, anyhow, this slide, I'm not going to be into deep, because this is a purely politics. I don't want to go to the politics, but it's a corruption. Why Indian Pharm D programs are corrupt? It's not only for pharmacy program, this also for even medical council. Like 5-6 years ago, Indian Medical Council was dissolved because of the corruptions. But medical council, even though involving corruption, they're very stringent to make policies for the medical schools. For example, without hospital, they can't open any medical colleges in India. Like that, our pharmacy, we just be requesting our, even the future pharmacy council president, present president, or anyone. So please focus on for the future of our pharmacy aspirants. So we don't want to be look and hear the newses like this. We don't want to be here, because these are the informations really spoiling our education system. So next slide, please, sir. Again, this also I'm not going into deep, because I'm not a politician to go there. Just I want to show you why Pharm D program declined. Because look at this, 870 pharmacy colleges. When we are a student in India, there is I think Dr. Vikram are also aware about. There are very few pharmacy colleges in India. So they make a very best candidates. But now look at that, 870 pharmacy colleges. So this is for 13 days. Within 13 days, they cleared approval, which means what kind of quality we are looking for. In US, we can go there. It's not even in Zambia. Look at Zambia in our country. It's not have plenty of pharmacy colleges. We have only 3 pharmacy colleges. We don't have more than 3 pharmacy colleges. And that too, we are not graduating so many students in a year. We are look at the market, how many students really need, and what the students' quality. According to that, we are usually graduating. So, sorry, sir, the previous slide, sorry. The previous, yeah. So that's why these are the factors, our failure. But we can't, as I mentioned, we can't say our failure. These are our mistakes. Mistakes are happen in our life, it's a common. but correction is very important. So in future, we are going to be correct these mistakes also. So next slide, please, sir. Next slide, sir, please. Yeah. So pharmacy education and licensing requirements for various countries. So let's first start with India. India, once we are completed pharmacy program, either Pharm D, Bachelor of Pharmacy, any program, we can straight away go to the council, get registration. India is basically for registration. Only renewal for based on registration. But come to clinic USA, UK, even sub-Saharan region like African countries, how it is robust for their license registration. Look at US. They must have 1,500 hours of clinical experience, including dispensing, record keeping, and compounding, which means everything. Once they have, they are assessed by not university. University assessed by their degree, but their qualification, which means their clinical experience, assessed by national accreditation boards. Then followed by they are registered as a pharmacist, but with one condition, they must renew their practicing license every year. I want to stress this point. This is the registration. In every country, they have a practicing license. The practicing license must be renewal every year. That I will explain later. That segment I'll come to later. But they have two licenses, registration and renewal, which means practicing. Even UK, there the exam conducted by Royal Pharmaceutical Society. So once they are done with that examination, they are cleared, they can come as a registered pharmacist with the practicing license. But SADC countries, that also another complicated. They have to be, once they are done with the Bachelor of Pharmacy, in SADC countries, the Bachelor of Pharmacy itself, it is a 5-year course. So 4 years course plus 1 year internship. Once they're done, they have to go for 12-month mandatory clinical rotation. Once they're done the 12-month clinical rotation, they're assessed by Health Professional Council of Zambia. So they must clear the exam. Once they clear the exam, they will go for provisional pharmacist, which means they keep on monitored by the senior pharmacist for 1 to 2 years. Then once they're done that 1 to 2 years tenure, they will be appearing the assessment conducted by Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia, which is equivalent to Pharmaceutical Council of Zambia, Pharmacy Council of Zambia, like that, sorry, Pharmacy Council of India. Like that in Zambia, they have a Pharmaceutical Society of Zambia. So once they are assessed, they cleared, they are getting full registration. Look at their process, very complicated. Even African countries, still they are underdeveloping. Look at their very complicated structure. That's why in Africa, pharmacists, they are treated very highly compared to other healthcare professionals. So please go to the next slide, sir. So how we are going to be enhance our Pharm D program in India as academicians, as healthcare sector experts? First, we have to make our curriculum revamp, which means we have to make a collaboration with international universities, not with Indian universities. We have to go for international universities in terms of faculty-student exchange. Let's go to their country, so they will come to our country. So let's learn in a global learning, and also hands-on experience to avoid the gap between the theoretical and also the practical. And also we can make a more clinical training, so which means we have to closely associate it with the medical doctors. So which means we can bring these three components. We definitely we can enhance their Pharm D program success in India. So the next slide, please, sir. Next slide. Okay. So for the student success, we need to be focused the 4 ways approach to improve the student success. First one, institutional support, then followed by environmental support, then followed by mentorship, then workshops and lecture, which means basically, so we can conduct like a more CME program, the way you are conducting now, and more collaborations, and also we can, mentorship is very important. But this particular mentorship for the clinical students, we strongly emphasize from clinical sector. Yes, college side, it is very much okay. But we want to be this kind of things supposed to be come from the clinical side. So next slide, please, sir. Okay. So the case studies of successful Pharm D programs, like University of Toronto's approach, because University of Toronto, what they've done, they have interprofessional education. They're focusing for the interprofessionals, and also for the University of San Francisco, they are also having a community-based approach, and also all these people they're making like a real-time learning with the in-hand training with the clinical experience, which are really helping for insights of the Indian Pharm D program go for in higher standards and excellence. The next slide, please. Okay. So for the continuation of our improvement. So we really focus these subjects in India utmost care. Because why Pharm D? One of the failure for the Pharm D, we are not, even as a pharmacy, we are not very strong with anatomy and physiology. Because how MBBS, they're very strong in a clinical sector because they have a very strong component with anatomy and physiology, which is not that far with us. For example, we don't have any training with the cadavers. Even we don't have any training with the simulators. So these are our emphasizing point for the future improvements in the Pharm D segments in India. So they have to be focused mainly for anatomy, physiology, to learn the biological system thoroughly, then followed by the pathophysiology, thoroughly by the abnormal and normal conditions. And I want to be combined pharmacology with the internal medicine, because this is the therapeutics, but we need to train our Pharm D graduates, even the Pharm D, with even M-Pharm with the PhD, but even though we need MD internal medicine and MD pharmacology, it's like a combined team to train pharmacology. This component is very, very essential. Then followed by surgery, ops and gynes and pediatrics, plus other specializations. But these three is very important. So must be practiced with OSCEs, as I mentioned earlier, objective structured clinical examination for these surgery, obstetrics, gynecology, and pediatrics. But the qualification is very highly cost consuming for the institutions. But what I emphasize, we make like a MOUs, like a guest lectures like that. So we bring people like a MSc anatomist or MSc PhD or MD physiology, like that people, at least 1 or 2 sessions to train our students, for Pharm D students, for anatomy, physiology. For the pathology, we need from MD pathology. And for pharmacology, we need like MD internal medicine and MD pharmacology. And surgery and obstetrics gynecology, we need a purely MS, MD, DNB, DCH qualification people to train. This is just like our proposal. How do we improve our Pharm D clinical experience by such implementations? Next slide, please, sir. Plus other subject as usual, pharmaceutics, medicinal chemistry, pharmacognosy. We need to train with M-Pharm with the doctoral qualification. And also the last component, but is a very least in India as my observation, because we are not training these Pharm D aspirants and graduates with the management, because management played a major role. For example, Pharm D with the MBA management, hospital management, which played a major job offers in various countries. So we need to be looked for like this. So these kind of things, we need to be invite people with the MBA qualification and a doctorate with the pharmacy background or medical background, not for general management background. We invite them so to train specially for pharmaceutical management and also pharmaceutical law. That is also very important. How we are going to be protect ourselves if any legal complication come in the future, because so many pharmacists, they are not aware about this, because we are studying as a student, but we don't know how to protect ourselves by the legal complications. So we must be focused on this also. So next slide, please, sir. So this is our innovative approach. So let's, India is growing. So as the population grows, they are looking for high demand of healthcare professionals. So in that kind of healthcare professional, the top professional is a Pharm D. So we need to create like a more awareness programs in India, and also the public must trust us. We are not just like a compounders. We are now transformed into clinical practitioners. We make them to believe. For that, we have to conduct more awareness program, and we have to be, and it takes time. Really, it takes time. Believing compounder as a clinical practitioner, it takes time, but we need to be focused more on this, and also technological integration. So we have to be used like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cyber security. So we have to implement more technological oriented courses in additional to the Pharm D program, and also the industry collaboration. So industry must be collaborate with us for the same programs, and innovative practice. So what is innovative practice? So we can, one of the innovative practice is a robust learning environment. We have to be focused for that. So the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. So the basic, my visit to India, I was identified one of the small colleges in our town, because this college offering Pharm D program, but it is purely for the students from the rural areas. As I grown in the small town, I want to be to support those Pharm D students. So we have a collaboration with that small college, and our university have a collaboration with other universities. So what happened? We are going to be started some courses, especially for this Pharm D program, like emerging trends in medical practice and technology, healthcare and data analysis, and digital therapeutics and mobile health apps, and blockchain in healthcare, especially for the pharmacist, and a medical entrepreneurship and a startup ecosystem. Like these 5 programs, we want to be start with that. The first, this is like a pilot scale. So once we succeed, we can go for in a broad manner. So please go for the next slide. So please, the next slide, please. So next slide, sir. Yeah. No, previous slide. Sorry. Yeah. So this is just like our center of excellence setup. And so we want to do this in more pharmacy colleges in India. That is our ultimate aim from Lusaka Medical University. We want to be really collaborate and also share our knowledge between our Indian counterpart as well as our Zambian counterpart. So the last slide, sir. The last slide. Thank you for attention, and I'm welcome you all for asking questions, and feel free to ask questions to me. Thank you very much for inviting me this place.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's a good opportunity for our students also. As you told about the MOU regarding Pharm D project. If you are in India, sir, I probably invite you to visit City University also, if possible.
Definitely, sir. We shall do. Definitely. Why not? We shall do definitely, sir. It's my pleasure to do that.
If you are in India, so make a plan to visit City University, that is in Ludhiana, sir.
Sure, sir. Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Right. So thank you.
Sir, I am very thankful for your presentation. So the topic is very insightful and very learning from all of the participants. So there is one question that a particular candidate has been put into the chat box. So that candidate is Eugene, and question is that you have been the South African sector. How is the growth of pharmaceutical industry comparing the past changed?
Okay. Actually, it's a very impressive question. In earlier days, this sub-Saharan region, they are purely depending the medications or importing from India actually. But now the scenario has been changed because they developed their own pharmaceutical industries, and they are setting up more community-based pharmacies, and also they are involving pharmacists in a regular clinical practice in the hospitals. For example, in Zambia, each government hospitals, even private hospital, there is a mandatory post is called as clinical pharmacist. their main job is called as prescription audit. So all the prescription pass through their offices before it go to insurance or anywhere else. What it means now, they're giving a significant importance for the pharmacy profession, but also the regulator also keep on improving their standards when compared to the past. But in a overall view, for the past few years, it's a tremendous growth in sub-Saharan region for the pharmaceutical division, with no doubt.
Thank you very much, sir, for the accurate answer. So, sir, and the next question that is come from the participant is that what is the role of clinicians in Pharm D?
Okay. So the role of clinicians in Pharm D, actually, so they have a very crucial role, because who is going to be taught as clinical practice? Because as a pharmacist, we can significantly with anything related to pharmaceutical, which means technologically, we can train with no doubt. But who is going to be trained clinically? Clinician only one and only person to train them. So it's my perception that clinicians have, very honest, they have egoistic issues with us. And us, we also have a egoistic issue with them. So we need to be clear these kind of things between with the clinician and the pharmacist, because we all are participating in the integral sector of the healthcare system. So we must be very closely associated with the clinicians, because unless clinicians, we can't train them in a clinical, because Pharm D is a clinical course. So we need to be close association with the clinician is very, very important, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So the next question that is come from again the participants is that as a Pharm D student, how we can get a global exposure?
Yes. This is also very impressive question. You know, as a Pharm D graduates, they have to do certain sacrifice. That is my personal advice. Why? So many countries, they have opportunities, but what they need to know their country regulation and policies. So which means they can sometimes go as a volunteer service, like a 3 months, 2 months, 6 months. You have to be sacrifice your time for the investment for your future, because you can't be just be done your Pharm D program. You can't expect certain things. Better you can go for more and more, like self-interest, called as a self-interest. If they go for example, Dubai also offering for them like a learning experience. They can go for the UAE countries, any countries they can learn. Like for example, they can come to Saudi countries. We welcome them. We can provide them accommodation. We can provide them everything. They can come and learn with us like a 3 month in like a vigorous clinical training, or 8 months clinical vigorous, but with no salary. This is called as no salary, but it's like the internship. Like that, if they learn, I'm not saying about inside a country, they can go anywhere in the world, but they have to be spend time to learn in a global standard, then easily they can go for the global way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that justifications to the questions, and very enlightening talk, sir. So that I is hopeful that it may be contribution towards that development of communication skills and presentation skills towards students. So now I am inviting our vice principal and professor of the department, Lakveer ma'am, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now I am privileged to deliver the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to respected Dr. Satheesh Kumar, sir, for taking the time and delivering such an insightful and inspiring seminar. Sir, your expertise and experience have enriched our understanding about the challenges faced by the Pharm D candidates or the students. And I would also like to thank our organizers and attendees and staff members, those who were present here. We hope all of you have got something valuable from today's seminar, and we look forward to welcoming you again, sir, in our future events. Thank you so much, sir, and have a great day, sir.
It's my pleasure to thank you all, and a special thank to the management.
Thank you very much, sir. So as a contribution towards
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This is a small token of love from our side, sir.
No, it's my great honor, sir. Great honor. Thank you very much.
So thank you all the participants. Thank you to all. Thank you.